What is going on, guys? It is Daniel and Kelsey right here for another episode of Paving the Way. I know you guys know that she has been the only one so far that I've convinced to hop on an episode here with me. And as you can see, we have a very dark background behind us. We're currently down in Clearwater, Florida for the Ignite Construction Summit this week. Starts today that you're listening to this. We're recording this Tuesday night, so that way it's fresh for you guys Wednesday morning. But we wanted to get on here. As you guys know, if you followed any of our social medias, the company's social media, anything like that, you guys know that we put out a heck of an announcement this past weekend. So it's been something that several weeks back when Kelsey did her first podcast with me that we were already kind of planning to do. We just obviously didn't want to, put the cart before the horse and announce things prematurely. So it's one of the big reasons that she came on board. She said, look, with what we're going to try and do with the franchise stuff, I have to be here full time. Like, she's like, yeah, I need to help. I have things I can offer, so on and so forth. So we did it. So that is it. The cat is out of the bag. You guys saw it if you follow our social that we're going to be offering franchise opportunities come 2024. What our plan is whether it's me and her doing updates for you guys, whether it's just me doing updates, whatever it is we're going to try and bring everybody, updates about every week, every other week or so with where that's at. Mm-hmm. As you guys know, a lot of what I try to talk about here on the podcast is just growth and leadership and business development, personal development, whatever it may be. And I can't think of much more importance than that when it comes to trying to build out a franchise, right? So that's going to be something that's going to be a major point of conversation, that we're just talking about how we're growing as ourselves, as leaders, as husband and wife, working together, day in and day out. It's a pretty interesting dynamic. So with that being said, we will officially get into the meat and potatoes here.
I don't know about the meat and potatoes.
Nope. So I just told Kelsey to show up, put a mic on, and we'll be here. So truth be told, she's waiting to go to dinner after we're done with this. So,
I'm hungry.
Yeah. So we're gonna dive into the meat and potatoes of the conversation here. A little backstory to this is a couple weeks back, I'm sure you guys saw that we were up in Pittsburgh at the TCS meetup. So at the meetup, there was able to be we all got an opportunity to do some recordings in their studio. So they have a freaking awesome studio. The Pavement Group has it set up there, and we all got to kind of go in rounds and take turns and do some different recording. They asked some questions, things like that. I was fortunate enough to be blessed with one of the recordings that Kelsey got to talk about with how the hierarchy works of husband and wives working together. Hence the title of today's show is Husband and Wife at Work. So I'm going to show this to you guys, and then we'll go ahead and break it down for you.
Oh, well, Daniel will be up there forever. He's just up there. He started this as his baby. I'm like just a smidge underneath him. But yeah, at home, it's like, no, we're going to drop him down up here. We've created a org chart, and it's in our office. It's up there. I just tell him, you're not my total boss. So that's our running joke. Before I started, I said, you know what? Like, you're my boss, but you're not my total boss. He's like, what do you mean? I don't just go around and be like, I'm your boss. I'm going to say this. I'm like, no, I just don't want to have a conversation and you just end it like, well, I'm your total boss, or I'm your boss, so this is how it's going to go. And there's been a lot of communication between me and him to try and figure that out. I think it's great to have your teammates and your employees and things like that see that it's okay to be husband and wife too at work.
You like
All
it?
right. So you guys are so welcome for that 42 seconds of learning who the total boss is or is not at Proline. But nonetheless, it really did open up. I mean, yes, there's kind of some funniness behind that, right? It's fun to joke about it, whatnot. But like, there is some truth to that, right? That I think there's probably a lot of husband and wives that work together that is a topic of conversation. Like, how does that work? Like, how does the hierarchy work?
Yeah.
So, and that's something that I would get to get your feedback on. I mean, obviously, like, you had recorded that video was a couple weeks ago, but it's something you and I have talked about for a while. So the last time everybody got to see you on here, we were just introducing you to it. So how, in your opinion, how has things gone when it comes to figuring out like how to have that balance between being husband and wife, but also working together at the business?
How it works?
Like, how's it been going? Yeah.
Oh, it's been going good. Obviously, there's been different struggles of us being able to communicate with each other if we're frustrated and trying not to make it a husband and wife dispute more than instead of a coworker or total boss. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but no, I think we've adjusted and learned how to communicate better. I mean, it's not perfect at all, but I feel like we're able to have an open conversation with each other and just say, hey, this is what I'm trying to figure out. Let's keep it at work. And I don't know. I think that we've done really well over the last couple of weeks. I think even more just lately.
Yeah, I would agree with all that. I think that especially over the last couple of weeks with the franchise stuff, kind of like nothing's like, it's not all finalized yet, right? There's still a lot of things we're still ironing out. But before we wanted that announcement, we wanted to make sure a lot of stuff was in place.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of pressure for you and I to kind of really be talking about what direction this is going, how's it going to go. And there were times where we were in the office at work, and I mean, we don't have a massive office by any means. So sometimes, those walls are paper thin, and there's been times where like I get more like, I don't know, I get more, I guess, sensitive to it sometimes about like, hey, we should probably have this conversation like outside of work. Like, let's go outside and take the dog out. Like, let's go take Finn outside, or let's have this conversation over dinner or whatever it is. But it's because it's finding that balance. Like Kelsey said in the video, she said, that it's important for the people on our team to see that like we are also husband and wife. Like, we're not just robots coming in here being somebody. So like, how do you think, I mean, would you say overall, like you said, it's gone well, but like, what are some of the challenges that we've faced trying to make sure that we know that like, hey, we have a job to do, but also we're husband and wife? Like, what's something there that you've maybe seen that's like a challenge to try and figure out?
I think that I talk to you differently as a husband and wife versus my coworker. So at home or behind closed doors, I would definitely say something to you that I probably wouldn't say it in front of others.
Yeah.
The way I would say it. So I guess it's more respect. I mean, I respect you, but I mean, there's also very bluntness I would say to you at home versus in front of everyone else.
Yeah. I saw, ironically enough, I saw this TikTok. I think it was like this morning when we were at the airport or something.
Yeah.
It was this video of this, like, basically it was like a woman, and like the caption said, how you talk to your family members versus how you talk to your coworkers. And it showed her like she was on like a Zoom call or something at work, and it showed her like sitting there, looking at the camera, and then like a family member came up, she's like just giving them a nasty look, and then they get back on the camera, oh yeah, hey, how are you, whatever, and they're like kind of talking about the same type of stuff, but like they're being nasty to the family member, but like nice to the coworker.
I hope I'm not being nasty to you.
Well, but to your point, that like you would say things differently.
Yeah.
And actually that's something that like my grandparents, who they worked together for 25 years, husband and wife, running a business, things like that. That's one thing that was brought to my attention, was that they said, Daniel, you got to be careful because you're going to treat your spouse a whole lot meaner than you would your coworkers or your employees. And that's something that I can say, like, to kind of answer my question to you of like what's been challenging, is that when we're at work, to treat you like I would if it was anybody else in our company.
Yep.
Like, hey, you're having a job to do right now. This is something you're doing great at. I need to congratulate you or thank you for that. If it's something that you're not doing good, I need to tell you, hey, this ain't right, but I need to do it with respect like I would any other employee.
Correct.
And so that's like, for me, that's kind of been a challenge, because you and I have a marriage and a relationship that some people look at us like, dang, are you guys like mad at each other? It's like, no, we're just
talking. We're just fun.
Like, I mean, heck, that was one of Nick Abruzzi's things, that when he sent in for the birthday video last week, you guys asked everybody to describe me in one word. He's like, blunt. Well, I think that's both of us, right?
Yeah.
What you see is what you get. So I think that's something that, the total boss thing in the video, that was something that you have said to me time and time again. 80% joking, I think, 20% like serious. Like when we talk about it, like you give me a hard time. What do you mean?
In the beginning, it was serious conversation of just making it known that we're partners at going into this, that you're not my total boss. But I mean, you're not like that with your coworkers or teammates or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a running joke now. So everybody in the TCS community, they all got to be, first to hear that publicly, I guess you could say. But it was definitely funny. It's something that, I wanted to just kind of put out there. I had the video sent to me. I'm like, I really don't know how we're going to post this, like how we're going to integrate it. So that's why I asked Kelsey if she wanted to be on with us today and just kind of have this conversation, kind of a little check-in to see how things are going and whatever it is. But honestly, like I said, we're down here in Florida right now. We're getting ready to go to the Ignite Construction Summit. It starts Wednesday afternoon and evening, goes all day Thursday, and ends Friday morning or Friday about lunchtime.
Yeah.
So I would say for you, like you've come to some of the TCS retreats before, but haven't really participated in them. You've come as a spouse.
Yep.
Like a lot of spouses do. You come to the dinners and do things like that, but you're on the education sessions. For you, being at your first actual like event, aside from TCS, because originally you were going to come as a spouse to this one too, and you're like, oh, I'll just come, I'll hang out during the day, whatever, and we'll go to dinner at night, blah blah blah. And then you change your mind. You're like, well, maybe I should sit in on it. So I'd be curious to know, like, what are you, in a way, like looking to gain out of sitting in on the education sessions and participating in that type of stuff?
More, I think the new like softwares or different things that people do at their companies, or because I'm not always willing to change everything at ours, but there's always a better way to do something. Yeah. So if I can see what they're doing and we can implement it at our company, that's wonderful. Yeah. That's just a little thing learned.
Yep. Yeah. And that's all. That's what I tell you all the time is when I've gone to these events for the last several years, there's times I'll tell you, be like, yeah, like the show was okay or this was okay, but I had this one conversation that like just changed it.
Everything.
Yeah, and like where I'll tell you, like, man, like that's what, like that was worth the whole trip.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to have you here to just get to experience it. I mean, it's a lot of fun getting to like be in these conversations, and you're somebody who like me likes to challenge stuff and ask questions and really just get involved in it. So I'm excited to have you here, not only as my business partner, somebody helping do this, but also my wife.
Yeah.
Like getting to like participate with me and share the excitement of doing this stuff together. So
I would agree.
Yeah. So it's something that we're excited to do. Like I said, I wanted to share that video with you guys. Thought you all might get a little kick out of that one, so that way you know what's really going on behind the scenes.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're welcome. So, but no, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I mean, we're at 84 episodes. We're going to keep trying to do our best to keep showing up twice a week for you guys. Like I've been saying, I want to get more guests on here. I want to get more folks to join us to just talk about different stuff. So I'm not sure if it's going to change the format to where maybe we do certain things on Wednesdays and certain things on Saturdays or however it may go. But we're just wanting to keep continuing to grow and advance what we're providing to you guys. I know I say that we do this a lot because I want to just give and to help, but I would be lying if I said I wasn't being halfway selfish because I get a lot out of this stuff. Having this conversation with you guys today reminds me that, hey, I need to treat her just like I would my employees, but I also need to treat my employees fair too, and so it's just having those conversations to put them out in front of you guys is really a big reminder. So if you've been thinking about, starting your own podcast or getting, on camera, on social media, whatever it may be, all it does is going to hold you accountable. It's going to put you in front of other people. It's going to make sure that people know what's going on in your life. You could get on here and you could put smoke and mirrors and you could just, fill us all full of crap. But if you get on here and you're honest with people, you're upfront, you're transparent, you're going to do nothing but build relationships. So I look forward to having her on, as we continue to grow this. Like I said, we're going to be putting out franchise updates about weekly or every other week. Not on this channel. It'll be on the Proline channel. So that way we're not, trying to mix stuff too much. But at the end of the day, we are Proline. Proline is us. Paving the way is all part of it. So everything's all intermingled. So I appreciate you guys' support. It's a lot of fun doing this stuff. And as you guys know, I take it seriously. So as always, reach out if you guys need anything. If any of you guys are going to be down at Ignite Construction Summit this week in Clearwater, we will see you there. If not, reach out. See you soon.